have a great idea, amazing talents and dreams just begging to be realized. Maybe you're on a journey of self-discovery to learn what it takes to achieve big success. Well, I'm here to tell you that the key to accomplishing those things already exists inside of you.
A great deal of confidence is required to take that big leap and reach for something new, exciting, or even scary. It's just a matter of fearlessly introducing yourself to you and then embracing all of who you are.
There are two potential paths that we can walk. One of authentically being, or one of fearfully pretending. Many of us cling to our masks, our facades, our "this is what the world wants or needs me to be" for far too long. We bend, twist, and contort ourselves to fit what culture, partners, parents, and peers demand that we become. It's difficult to build confidence when we're becoming who we believe everyone else needs us to be, slowly smothering our own identities.
There's no doubt that some will love us for our authenticity, and others will hate us or judge us for walking that bold path. But the only opinion that really matters is yours. The first step in unearthing confidence is to really consider the way you think about yourself and the way that you speak to yourself. In this lesson, we'll help you find your confidence by guiding you through your own transformation.
A few years ago, I was stepping on stage to give a keynote speech in front of an audience of over 10,000 people. 5 cameras were pointed directly at my face, and the lights were blinding. My thought at that moment was, I don't deserve to be here.
That's an example of an imposter thought.
When you think thoughts like, I don't belong in this room, everyone here is smarter and more accomplished than I am, do they realize that I've just been faking it this whole time? Who do I think I am anyway? I've just gotten lucky so far.
Despite plenty of evidence to the contrary, we chronically doubt our own abilities, aptitude, and worthiness.
The biggest irony here is that when this phenomenon was first described in 1978, the study population was a group of highly successful professional women.
It turns out that high aptitude and a tendency for perfectionism are often contributors to imposter thoughts. Despite their objective success, people that struggle with imposter thoughts have difficulty internalizing their achievements. The thought of not performing up to their own high standards thwarts their attempts.
Whenever I'm writing a new talk, I find that I have a really hard time practicing it because when I don't get the words perfect, I stop, I fumble, I try again, and 2 hours later, I'm still working on my first slide.
This is the perfectionist talking, one of 5 subcategories of imposter syndrome. The perfectionist sets impossibly high standards for themselves and often struggles with control issues. Perfectionism holds us back because we often won't start or finish. We get stuck on that sentence, that first paragraph, that little obstacle to overcome.
Another version of the imposter is the expert. This person is terrified of being exposed as inexperienced or unknowledgeable, and thus feels shame and embarrassment for any gap in their knowledge.
The soloist feels like they must prove their worth through their own achievements and can't ask for help.
The natural genius believes they should naturally know or be good at anything new they try, and therefore struggles to admit they have to work at any task.
The superhero is the plate-spinning juggler who believes their worth revolves around all the roles they play and is at constant risk for burnout.
Research has found succumbing to these beliefs and feelings is detrimental to one's health and job performance and results in lower rates of career advancement. Imposter thoughts can also lead to procrastination, which can deepen the shame of not achieving, which then feeds more feelings of failure and more reasons to procrastinate.
Because, well, whatever you're doing can't reach those standards of perfection. So why even bother, right?
Wrong. Those feelings and thoughts are false and detrimental to your mental health.
Our feelings of not being worthy or feeling like an imposter in our own lives are rooted in automatic negative thoughts, sometimes referred to by the acronym ANTS.
These ants were important to our survival back in ancestral days. If we didn't focus on the worst case scenario, we might have just believed that the rustling behind us was a songbird, rather than the tiger that it was.
The National Science Foundation suggests that the average person has about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. Of those, 80% are negative, and 95% are repetitive. Those ants groove paths of negativity deeper and deeper by repeating themselves in our heads every day. We must find ways to disrupt the pattern and change the story.
This is where pets come in. No, not the cute fuzzy animals, but the acronym for Practice Enlightened Thoughts. These are our mantras that prime us for positivity. They open us up to opportunity. Pets are what you'll use to replace that running brain circuit that's locked onto negative repeat.
As we begin to disrupt the fearful patterns of our automatic negative and imposter thoughts, we can start to build new momentum that initiates a flywheel of positive changes.
The flywheel effect is a concept from the book Good to Great, which demonstrates how little by little, with continued effort, you can begin to turn a huge, heavy wheel. Think of the flywheel as your inborn and learned negative thoughts and patterns. Eventually, you'll start to spin that wheel with a new set of ideas and behaviors.
The first rotation takes enormous effort with lots of starts and stops, but the next rotation is easier.
There is less resistance by the third rotation, and soon the momentum that you're building begins to move the wheel effortlessly, and it takes on its own propulsion, pulling you along with its force. The winner effect causes physical changes to occur in the nervous and endocrine systems that encourage more winning. In both instances, the loser and the winner effects have begun a flywheel of sorts.
Positive and negative feedback loops will self-reinforce until an alternative force acts upon it. In fact, the more one wins or loses, the more winning and losing affects them. So, even at the molecular level, success breeds success.
Let's repeat that. Success breeds success. And to get that first success, you need to get moving.
Simply put, confidence involves the willingness to try, to start, just do it. Without the script, without the teleprompter, without the practice or clear directions, without knowing exactly how things will turn out.
Confidence is 99% just showing up, being willing to show up, screw up, and just keep going.